All right, we are joined by the 2019 Connecticut State Golf Association Player of the Year, Rick Dowling. He is a two-time Connecticut Amateur Champion, two-time two-man team champion, won the 2019 Wilson Cup Championship, T2 at the Connecticut Public Links, T3 at the Connecticut Mid-Amateur. Rick, thanks for taking a few minutes to join us today and talk some golf and just chat.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Sam. Thanks for having me. Always happy to talk golf.
And I'm Sam Dostler. I'm the Assistant Director of Tournament Operations for the Connecticut State Golf Association. All right, Rick, before we focus on the upcoming 2020 season, we wanted to take a quick look back at 2019. You've had a lot of success in golf throughout your career. You were a two-time captain at Fairfield University, but last year you seemed to take your game to a whole new level. What was the key?
I think the key was a couple of things. First, I was a little disappointed in myself that I didn't put the work in the prior season to get selected as a member of the TriState team, and they ended up winning, which was fantastic, accomplishment for them and the CSGA squad. But, I had a little bit of FOMO, fear of missing out a little bit, and it really motivated me to prioritize golf, preparing for tournaments, putting in the work in the gym and out on the golf course practicing, and setting my schedule to make sure I got the opportunities to set myself up for points and all that kind of stuff. So that was a big one for me. Really motivated me to participate more and play more. And then second, I think I have to really thank my coaches and my support system for setting me up for success. At Golf Performance Center, I really have the world at my fingertips. I got great coaches, I got a great facility, and they really motivate me to be my best. And my family, my friends, and my fellow competitors. It makes for a great combination of things that really make you want to play the best you can.
Yeah, you mentioned last year that one of your goals was to compete for that Connecticut Tri-State team. Last year, unfortunately, it didn't go Connecticut's way. But what makes participating in that event so special for you?
Yeah, I think first, it's just a prestigious honor to be selected, I think, to any CSGA team event. And I hold it at a high standard for myself, and I encourage other people to hold it in the same regard. So I have a lot of respect for the event. I also have a lot of respect for the fellow players that make the team and the camaraderie that we share. It's it's a unique dynamic that for team golf, usually, play high school golf or college golf, but then you're pretty much on your own, and this is kind of cool. And I really enjoyed that. I also respect Roger, Everin, and Ryan a lot, all of whom who put a lot of hard work and effort into making that event a success from a CSJ perspective. But I think most of all, I really enjoy being a part of that competitive atmosphere. It's so unique. You've made the team. You're one of the best in your state, and now you're going up against the best golfers in the other states for that year. It's thrilling. And I thrive on that, and I enjoy thriving on that with my fellow team members. So it's something I look forward to all year, and I aspire to be a part of going forward.
You mentioned playing part of a team is something that you really enjoy to do. Well, you've had a lot of success in the two-man team championship the last 2 years. You've won it each of the last 2 seasons. That's one of the first events, or the first event on the Connecticut State Golf Association schedule. How good does it feel to get your season off to a quick start with, of course, a win the last 2 years? But even if you're not winning, just to get off to a good start.
Yeah, that event is awesome. I think it's great that it really kicks off the year, and that's the first one. It's almost like a reunion of sorts that, you see all your friends and your buddies, and everyone's like getting ready, and they're all juiced up to play. But then it really takes a turn, and it becomes all business, And I love Black Hall. Black Hall is phenomenal. It's competitive. It's tough. The golf course alone, if you're just out there playing it yourself, you'd have to, focus up. But yeah, it's great I think it's just a great way to kick the year off. Even if you don't win, I think it's just a good way to get the competitive juices flowing. And what I look forward to most, honestly, and what as a champion, returning champion, is playing with Bill. You know, he's the host. He's a Hall of Famer. I respect him and his game a lot. And just playing in that group brings your game to a high standard, high level.
For each of the last 2 years, you've been teamed with Nick Taylor. What makes the two of you such a good team?
Yeah, Nick and I really enjoy playing together. I think it's a combination of a few things. Personally, and this is how I kind of describe it. I don't want to let him down, but I also know that I can count on him. And I think we both share that, where especially in two-man, you're playing your own ball. Sometimes you're trying to make birdies, and then it changes a little bit, an alternate shot. And it's always in the back of our minds that we're about to hit this shot, and I don't want to let my partner down. But I know I can count on him when he's hitting the shot. And we both share that. And I think also the presence of playing each other, we have an internal competitiveness where the presence of the other, makes us play better and brings out the best. And we want to kind of impress and show that we're here and we're solid. We're a solid team member. We both want to win. We both have a high desire to compete as best as we can. And I think the other thing is that we think about rounds, shots, holes similarly. We think precisely, and that makes just for a good energy out there. It's mostly serious, and playing with Bill, we follow in Bill's footsteps. So it's mostly serious, but then also there's touches of friendliness and fun and that kind of stuff. So it's just good.
How do you adjust to playing the alternate shot versus playing your own ball? Because playing alternate shot is obviously something you don't do very often.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I think it's a challenge. And I think that just understanding that it's going to be hard, it's not going to be, you can't really predict what's going to happen. And that just taking that perspective, really, it lowers the expectations. And you can put a good round together. I think you just got to make do with what you got, put your partner in a good position. And yeah, it's much different than best ball. That's for sure. But again, I can count on him. I know I can count on him, and he's counting on me, and that's what makes the most dynamic team.
So unfortunately, the 2020 season getting off to a bit of a delayed start this year. How are you able to prepare for the upcoming season?
Yeah, it's kind of been a lot of work so far, but I've been trying to slowly get back into preparing for the upcoming season. It's been a little weird, I think, for everybody, not knowing when things are going to start back up, a lot of uncertainty in, how things are going to work when they do start back up, if they do. But I think what you have to, I was talking to one of my buddies, Mike Kennedy, the other day, and he was saying that he's just assuming that things are going to start tomorrow, and that's how he's going about it. And I think that's all you can do, and you have to focus on what you can control. And I've really been relying on my coaches, my friends, my colleagues at GPC to, continue motivating me, going out there and competing. We're fortunate that, we can still get out there and play and practice outside as long as we're, practicing social distancing. So I've been able to, stay at home and do body weight exercises and continue my stretching and preparation that way. Reading a lot, listening to podcasts, trying to keep the desire level pretty high. But for now, on the golf side, trying to ease my way back into playing 18 holes, but really focusing on short game just to get things moving.
You can never focus. You can always focus on the short game, right?
Yeah, it's I agree. You can start there and then work your way in. And yeah, I think also starting with the physical side as well has really been crucial too. I think making sure you're healthy and strong to get moving and not going too fast, I think has been big too. And getting that education from my coaches has been really big.
Right. So when you are competing in CSGA events, you work at a Ridgefield-based startup. You've been there for the last 4 years. It's called Junior Golf Hub. You're the customer service leader there. Can you tell us about your work at the Junior Golf Hub and the Golf Performance Center?
Yeah, it's been a great 4 years, and golf is something that I love doing, competing and sharing with other people. And I'm fortunate to be in a situation where I work with people who share that same sentiment and similar philosophy. And it's just a special team and place at Golf Performance Center. And I have a special team at Junior Golf Hub that we've been building over the last 4 years. And I'm really proud of what we've accomplished so far, and the team that we've built, like I said, and the things that we're set to achieve and where we're going. We really want to make a difference and change the game when it comes to golf.
What advice are you giving parents and kids about staying prepared in this strange season, the strange start to the season?
Right. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of what I was saying earlier. As you know, the junior golfers and parents are a big part of what we do at Junior Golf Hub from the onset. And when we try to talk to them and provide them with some advice and education or things to think about, we say that you really have to focus on what you can control at this time. And I think switching the perspective to view this time as an opportunity to become better as a person, as a student, and as a golfer is really vital. There's things that we're trying to provide on the platform that you can use to assess your 5 elements of success, the things that promote your greatness and your achievement of your goals, and how you can assess yourself now to really develop a plan for this year and moving forward. So taking this time as an opportunity rather than a setback.
Well, we've talked about last year a little bit, talked a little bit about your work with the Golf Performance Center. What are some of your goals for the 2020 season? I like what you said about your buddy saying he's assuming that the season is going to start tomorrow. So if the season were to start tomorrow, what would your goals be for the 2020 season?
Yeah, so I was thinking about this a little bit the other day, and the one thing that always comes back to my mind is make the TriState team. That if that stays as one of your goals, everything, if you achieve that, everything else will kind of fall into place. Whether it's, competing consistently throughout the year across the board, or having a few wins, or a little bit of more of an up and down season, that's fine. But that's my one priority, is to make the TriState team and win. I think we have a very strong contingent of players in Connecticut with a lot of potential and a lot of grit. And I'm really, really looking forward to this season and making that team, and then winning at TriStates. That would be one of my biggest goals. Something that I haven't done, which I don't even know might not even be a possibility this year, would be to play in a USGA event. I've never played in a USGA event. I've tried to qualify probably a handful, maybe a little more than a handful of times, but just kind of been learning a lot. It's a little different, maybe just feeling a little different, maybe not, the game wasn't there at the right time, but I think that would be a really big accomplishment for me, and that's on my list. I want to win a CSGA major, whether it's the amateur at Shorehaven or one of the other ones. Obviously, those are the big ones on my list. I want to be there at the end of tournaments. I want to be in the final groups. So whether that's the quarterfinals or semifinals of the amateur at a minimum, or the final groups of the mid-am, coming down the stretch last year, learned a little lesson in focus at the end of the last year's mid-am, but so being there at the end, I think I want to get stronger as a person, like physically. So we have some ways at GPC that I can measure where I am now in terms of my physical strength, and ways I can monitor that and progress that moving forward, and then hopefully get to a point where I increase that by a substantial margin. Just getting older. Not that I'm old, but you're starting to feel that that's going to be important, and it'll only make for better performance, I think. And then the last thing, I don't know if it's more of a personal one, but it's also golf related. I just want to play more golf with my dad. My dad's been such a crutch for me, and he's always there. He cares so much about what I do with golf, and he's caddying for me. He's always asking about what I'm doing, and he's also like the reason why I'm so competitive too. he was a player at one time, and the way he talks about golf and the way we talk about golf, it's just we kind of feed off each other, and it's like a silent energy that we just love competing and playing the game. So I just want to play more with him and get him more involved. You know, he just turned 60. He's got a new set of golf clubs, but they haven't been used very much. I want to get him back out there and we play a lot more together.
Well, sounds like you got a pretty good list going for 2020. So
yeah, goals are important. I think.
Yeah.
You know, there's something to be said, and you know, Roger Nick has really been a presence in my, I guess, development in the last 5-6 years, and maybe something I should have mentioned earlier when you asked me about, you know, how do you explain, you know, 2019? You know, he's a big reason for that, and all my coaches at GPC. But he's really shown me that, you know, something as little as writing things down can be a lot different than just thinking about it or going, I just want to play golf, or I want to compete and I want to win. Just saying that, you know, writing it down and talking about it makes it real. So I think that's really important if you want to take golf seriously and, you know, have a plan for a season.
Well, Rick, thanks for taking some time to join us. Rick Dowling, the 2019 Connecticut State Golf Association Player of the Year. And we hope to see you out soon, getting the 2020 season underway.
Thanks, Sam. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you and everyone at CSGA. I hope everyone's doing well, and all the my fellow golfers out there. I look forward to seeing you and hope you and your families are doing well as well.
That's been Rick Dowling, the 2019 Connecticut State Golf Association Player of the Year. I've been Sam Dostler, the Assistant Director of Tournament Operation. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for listening.